Ever notice what happens the second a piece of food slips off your cutting board? Strip away the cozy house cat routine, and you are suddenly looking at millions of years of hunting instinct activating in real time. But if you actually let them eat that dropped bite, a specific kind of guilt usually sets in. We've been trained to feel that way. For decades, pet food marketing campaigns pushed a very clear message. Human meals are inherently dangerous, and the only safe option comes from a sealed bag or a tin can. The biology tells a completely different story. A cooked egg or a plain piece of chicken isn't a hazard for a small carnivore. It is exactly what they were built to run on, a complete, perfect protein. Long before modern kibble existed, our kitchens were always a shared space. We lived alongside these animals and fed them from our own prep stations, and their bodies thrived on those fresh, unseasoned ingredients. Sharing a few bites of your meal offers profound nutritional benefits, but you have to know the exact rules of engagement. Because the moment you ignore how their digestion actually works, the healthiest bite in your kitchen quietly turns against them. Let's start with the egg. A cooked egg is one of the most efficient packages of nutrition you can hand a cat. It holds every single amino acid their body requires, folded into one warm, easy bite. Warning tone, but you can never give it to them raw. Raw egg white carries a protein called avidin, and avidin has a highly specific, dangerous talent. We've known how this works since a 1941 paper published in the journal Science. Researchers in mid-century laboratories ran the biochemical tests to document exactly why raw eggs make cats sick. This diagram shows what they found at the molecular level. The avidin structure aggressively hunts down a crucial B vitamin called biotin, grabs onto it, and locks it away where the cat's body cannot access it. The fix is immediate and simple: heat. Cooking the egg physically breaks the avidin structure apart, releasing the trapped biotin and making the meal totally safe. The same logic applies to lean meats. Plain cooked chicken or salmon is a biological language your cat speaks fluently, but any trace of onion, garlic, or the active enzymes found in raw fish immediately introduces toxic threats. Onion and garlic actively attack a feline's red blood cells, and raw fish carries an enzyme that destroys thiamine, a vitamin their entire nervous system relies on to function. You navigate these landmines by keeping everything intentionally boring: fully cooked, unseasoned proteins, or a small spoonful of plain, pure pumpkin to soothe gut inflammation. That is the only safe way to share. This visualization shows an average adult cat's total daily energy requirement. They operate on a shockingly small budget, maxing out at around 200 calories for the entire day. So a single piece of chicken that looks like a harmless bite to you can instantly swallow up more than half of their daily capacity. To prevent this, veterinarians use the 10% rule. All the shared extras you hand out, combined, must never take up more than 1/10 of their daily intake. The remaining 90% is completely non-negotiable. That space belongs to their balanced commercial cat food, because that is the only place they get mandatory survival nutrients like taurine. If you break that math and share too much human food day after day, you slowly crowd out those essential vitamins. You end up starving your cat of the nutrients they need to live, even while keeping their stomach completely full. Even if you prepare a chemically safe, mathematically exact portion of food, you can still create a massive problem in the final second. The physical act of handing the food over dictates everything. Cave to a crying pet, or slide a scrap directly from your dinner plate, and you actively train them to demand food. They learn a very specific psychological lesson. They begin to view you as an unpredictable vending machine, a resource that only dispenses a reward if they pace the counters, yowl at 3 a.m., and constantly negotiate. The alternative requires a strict ritual. The treat goes exclusively into their own bowl, during a quiet moment, completely on your terms. A cat that can predict your next move is a cat that feels safe. When you replace the friction of the dinner table with a steady ritual at their own bowl, the anxiety that drives begging disappears. When you align the biology, the math, and the delivery, your cat stops guarding their food and starts falling asleep against you. This is how trust is actually built, not through a fuller bowl, but through a steady reliability that started with a single properly cooked egg.